Again, everyone. I'm going out in a few minutes at my Art Society lecture this morning, but I thought before I forget, I will just do a little something that I was asked to do by a viewer. She was asking about these replacement tips. By the way, I've got some press-on nails. What do you think? Haven't tried them before, but my nails were looking in such a state. I didn't want to use gel on them for a while, so I've stuck stick-ons. I think they're quite cool. Anyway, just let me get back to what I was saying. I've been mentioning about the fact that these tips on the Barely Art glue become clogged quite easily. You can buy replacements from them, but another viewer told me that you can buy these tips, these needles, they're called blunt needles, Luer Lock, Luerlock, blunt needles. I got these on Amazon. There was about 100 and whatever, and they were about £6, I think. I also got these, which are just little silicone covers. Again, very cheaply. So, all you do to change them, you hold this tip. On the original, it's black. These ones are pink. And you just twist. And out it comes. I've been doing that a long time before I bought these to try and clear out the clogs from the black tips. When you've got a new one, you just put it in again and twist, and it's done. So there we are, Luer Locks. And now I'm going to go to my art lecture. And I think today it's somebody talking about John Constable, so it should be really, really interesting. I'll see you later. Well, I'm back from my lecture, and I have to say I wasn't disappointed. Absolutely riveting. The knowledge of these experts who come to talk is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And I never realised there was an image of John Constable in a British passport. I'll have to get mine out and have a look. Okie dokie. What I'd like to do next is something somebody else asked me about, and how you can use pigment powders. Well, these are just, I think I got them from eBay. They're just cheap micas, but they're fabulous colours. Got three sort of purpley colours, very close really, but I must have bought them different times and thinking I was getting something really different. Anyway, some purples and a couple of blues, and I have more of these tiny little Nordic butterflies from Poppy Stamps. So I thought I'd colour my two butterflies with the pigment powders. The other thing I wanted to talk about was aperture dies. I'm really fond of aperture dies. This one is Simply Graphic. It's where they cut an aperture in your card, but there's some element of interest that sort of protrudes into the gap. This is another one. I can't remember that. I think it might be a Simon Says stamp, actually. A little leaf goes in. But if you don't have any of these, you can create the effect simply by cutting an aperture with a square, a circle, whatever you happen to have, and then draping something across it. So here, I've got a panel for a card, just cut a square out, and I use this die. I think this might be a Lou Collins. I'm not absolutely certain on that one. And you can just simply do this. Stick that. And you've got a similar sort of effect to this. Do you see? I think that's kind of pretty. I did wonder what to put behind that. The World Your Lobster, of course, for that. And I was thinking perhaps some of these backgrounds that I had the other day. That's a bit bold. Might look a bit much with those colours. I may have to go to something that is much more neutral. Why was that other piece I had? I had two pieces of green, didn't I? Here it is. That one. That's a bit much, isn't it? I think I need something a bit more subdued behind there. I have got this Bit of sky. That's nice. I'm gradually get you using up this sheet. That is pretty, isn't it? So that's a possibility. So let me I'll put those on one side for the moment, and I'll just colour these little butterflies. After I'd cut out all the pieces, I've sort of laid them out in the orientation of how they go. This little piece goes on top of that. This one goes on top of that, and they come together with the body on the top. So to do this, I'm just going to pick up a little of this with a paintbrush, mix it on the side here, and then paint it on. We'll see. You can mix a medium of some description. By a medium, I mean something like this, matte medium, slap it on, that kind of stuff. It just makes a slightly different effect. I have got some French furniture polish that my friend Milou sent to me, and I mix pigment powders with that. So a brush. Here's a brush. Get on some water. Just get my little brush rack stand thing that Julie gave me. Look at these fabulous blues. Aren't they gorgeous? Let's just see. Look at that. Bluey purple, actually, isn't it? Let's just see. Pick up a little of the pigment. Just mix it. I want to make sure all the little grains of pigment are actually dissolved in the water. Okay, let's do the big one, blue. That looks decidedly purple there, doesn't it? Let's just do this layer. Well, that doesn't look very intense, does it? Let's try again. It's better. Still not wonderful. Let me try mixing it with some of this matte medium. This is Liquitex. That's not much better. Right, let's move on. I'm going to now choose some different pigment. I just kind of had a regroup, really. I thought that the way I was mixing the colours on the side of this thing here, I couldn't get enough pigment in to get, you know, sufficient opacity. Is that the word? So I've got a palette instead. I'm going to be using water, and I've picked some colours that I think are probably a little bit more conducive with the bit of background that I thought I would put behind. I got out my Luscious powders. This is my box of Luscious powders. I don't know if there's anything that would be better with that. That's probably more blue. This is the sort of the turquoisey, but I do have a colour somewhere called teal, which might be, is that it there? Is that the teal? Yes, that's the teal. Let me perhaps mix some of that in. Let me just see what that's like against this. Yes, that's kind of nice, isn't it? How about if I mix those two, perhaps? Be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how we go. I wasn't very happy with the mix before, so I'm just going to try again. Anyway, I'm going to try it with water. So let's just see. This one is Pretty Gets Gritty, Neptune. Isn't that lovely? Let's do this for the lower. Oh, look. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. You do need, you know, to get some pigment on there. I was not doing very well before, I must confess. So we'll see how we go with this lot. So that's the under wings, if you know what I mean. Perhaps it's, you know, quality stuff will out, I don't know. Just put a bit more. Let's get the strength of it. Yes, that's lovely. Okay, rinse out my brush and we'll try some of the teal. Oh, look at that. My goodness. Ooh. Oh, isn't that lovely? Reconstitute this in here with just a little water. I don't need to wipe it off if I don't want to. I can just leave it, and next time I come to it, add some water and it would be reconstituted. I think what I'm going to do, I'd like the body of the butterfly deeper in colour. So I think I'm going to do that just with a marker, black marker, and then I'll put some gold over it. Whoops. Okay. Now, are we dry? Not quite. It's going to take just a moment. I'll just try and pop my heat tool light just to help out. Now I'll see if we can just touch the tips of the wings with a little of the gilding wax. I'll try and do it without picking them up this time and see how that works. No, it's not going to stay still enough. Put them back in the place where they're supposed to be, and I might get them in the right order when it comes to assembling them. Okay, so there's all my pieces joined together. I think I'll put these on one side while I just assemble the front of the card. This is not really going to plan, I have to say. I was thinking of raising this and having that, you know, down a little bit, but I'm going to stick it right behind the front panel so that I can stick that on directly, because I tried to cut a foam sheet bit for underneath, and because this is so skinny, the foam just stretched. And the two were completely different sizes. So, you know, we're going, as I say, we're going to plan C. We'll just do it this way. So I'm going to pop that immediately behind. What's happening with this? Let's try again. It's got it. Okay, so that's behind there, that's fine. Now I want to stick this in, just into that corner like that. Okay, so we'll put this on put a bit of glue on this. Let's get that just down into that corner. There we go. Now I need to assemble the butterflies, so I'll get those back. Right, here are my butterflies back. So now I just want to put them together. So let me just poke these things out, and then the colour from the layer beneath will be showing. There we go. These are very small pieces. He's only about 1.5 inches across. Okay. I'm not sure if there should be an overlap of these or not, actually. Maybe just a slight one would look better. Have to leave them to set for a moment or two. Those will need to just stay for a moment or two, I think, until they're set, and then I'll be back. Well, I found a sentiment, just stamped it and embossed it with gold to link in with the gilding wax I used there. Before I go, I wanted just to say one word about pigment powders. Some of them, some makes, have binders in them, which means that once you've mixed them with water or with sticky ink, glue, slap it on, a medium of some sort, that is then permanent and will not rub off. Some don't contain that binder, so you will need to, if you don't want the colour to come off, you need to fix it with something. So there are a variety of things that you can use. There's this a wax varnish. I decant a little into one of these little pots. These little pots I find so useful. You saw me use them earlier for the needles for the glue. I use them for sequins. I use them for the covers for the glue top, and decant a little in there because I didn't want to be dipping a brush into that. So into there, and you can just paint over, or you can use an artist fixative spray, something like this one. This is from BBO. Failing any of that, you can use hairspray. So, you know, there's always a way. There's always something that you can do to make sure that, you know, your work's not spoiled. If you spent a long time doing something, you want to make sure that, you know, it's preserved. So, as I say, today is not about the card so much. It's about the things we did to the elements of the card, making an aperture that looks like an aperture die, then it's not really, and how to use pigment powders just to add some colour. So there you go. So thanks so much for joining me once more, and do come back and see me really soon.